Hi everybody, today we are looking at a question like this. Now, as you can see over here, it says that figure A and B are made up of identical quarter circles. Okay, so once I'm done with that, I can go on to sentence 1. Okay, it says that the perimeter of the shaded part of figure A is 140. Okay, so if it is the shaded one, what I want to do is I want to highlight it out first. Okay, I want to highlight it. I want to make it obvious to me. Okay, what is the perimeter? Perimeter means the outside, correct? Now, of the shaded part. So I'm just going to highlight it now. Okay, for the perimeter of the shaded part, I'm just going to highlight it right here. So this is the perimeter of the shaded part. Okay. And according to the question, it says that it is 140 cm more than the perimeter of the unshaded part. So here is the perimeter of the unshaded part. They share the same arc length. And then it goes all the way up to here. Okay. Now, so when I look at this, right, I realized, okay, that the unshaded one, okay, the unshaded one is actually made up of one line, correct? Can you see the one line? One line plus two arc length. Okay, plus two arc length. Whereas for the shaded one, okay, it is highlighted in orange. It is made up of one line, two line, three line. Can you see that? One more time. One over here, two over here, three over here. So we say three lines plus two arc length as well. Make sense? Okay, so because of this, right, from here itself, I know why is it that it's 140 cm more. And that 140 cm more is really because of the two lines over here, the difference in the number of lines. Make sense? It is not the arc. Why? Because the arc, they are the same. So anything that is the same, we can just cancel out. Agree? So over here, I'm just left with two lines. So therefore, we can say that two lines is actually equals to 140 cm. Make sense? We find one line, which is our Mr. Green Man, and that gives me 70 cm. Okay, so we know that this part is 70 cm, this part is 70 cm, this part is 70 cm, this is 70 cm. Likewise, whatever that is over here is also whole thing being 70, so half of it is 35. You agree? Okay, so half of it is 35, 35, 35. Okay, what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to make sure I know all of my measurements. Okay, now once I'm done with that, okay, what I want to do next is I want to read the question. The question says the area of the total shaded part in B. Now, when I look at this, I can only see a few things, right? The first one I can see is actually the quadrant. Can you see the quadrant? All right, so this is the area that I can find first. So maybe let's call this A. All right, I want to name it so that it's easier for me, okay? Now, the next thing I can actually see is this. I can actually shift this one into here. You agree so far? And when I do that, what happens? It becomes a full square. You understand so far? So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to call this A. Make sense? Okay, so we are going to find A first, okay? So what I'm going to write down is I'm going to find area of A. So area of A. Okay. So what is area of A? Area of A, since it is a square, I can just simply do 35 times 35. 1225 centimeter square. Okay, so now that I'm done with A, what I can do is this, right? I want to find which one? I want to find B and I want to find C. Now, to find B and C, I can only do one thing, which is to find the square, which I have already found, correct? Okay, minus away the quadrant. You agree so far? Can you see that when I do the square, I remove away the quadrant, I get to see? Right? So that's what I plan to do. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to find the area of the quadrant. And I can see that the area of the quadrant, okay, I can see that the area of the quadrant, so I'm just going to write down area of quadrant. Instead of writing quadrant, I'm just going to draw. Is equals to 1 over 4 times pi r squared. Okay, so 1 over 4 times pi. What is pi? Pi in the question, it tells me that it is 22 over 7 times the radius. Let's go back to the quadrant. The radius is actually how much? 35. And then we will do 35 to the power of 2. Or if you prefer to write 35 times 35, I'm perfectly okay with that. Okay, so times 35 to the power of 2, we get to our answer of 962.5. Okay, so that is the quadrant. So now I can actually find C, right? So I can simply just say that the area of C is actually equals to 1225 minus away 962.5. Okay, and I'll get to 262.5. Okay, fortunately, the area of B is also the same, right? So we write 262.5. Okay, so now that I have found out everything, okay, I'm just probably going to put a tick here. I found B, I found C, I found A, I found A. What I can do is I can add all of them up together. Okay, so therefore the area of the shaded part, so we write down area of shaded, okay, in figure B. Okay, so you want to make sure you write down all of this meaning. If not, your numbers are just numbers, right? It's very hard for you to trace back and see what you have done. All right, we want to make sure that all of these are easy for me to trace back so that I can check properly. Okay, so we can write down that we can add all of them up together, and therefore my answer for this question has to be 1750 centimeter square.